I guess this is part 2. You see, even, when I'm doing this here, my phone just stopped recording. So this is part 2. We're going to post both, videos. So I wrote The Power of Prayer. And the power of prayer, and I was just saying I'm a Christian, but it sounds like at that point, no prayer of mine was being answered, because every time that I tried to pray, my reports would still come back the same way, right? So I wrote The Power of Prayer and started selling it, right? And a lot of people bought the book, men and women, alike. And don't ask me how I got to find the courage to sell those books and to talk about, how I was trying to just prove, to say, can I write? Can you understand me? Can you hear me? What do I need to, to improve on, right? That was the whole goal of that, first book. And then after I wrote that and realized that people were actually reading it and understanding it, I said, oh, okay. Now it's time to shift from fear to faith, because then I don't need to be afraid of who I am. I don't need to be afraid of my awesomeness. I don't need to change who I am. For every person that tells me you need to change this and you need to change that, because that's a lot. There are billions of people in this world. So if I conform to that, to wanting to change, to wanting to please, people, then I'll never figure out who I am, who STEM is. So STEMbile, short for STEMbile, is STEM. And once I got my doctorate degree, I decided to brand myself as Dr. STEM, because then with STEM, STEM, nobody can say, can you spell that? Because it's STEM, right? Rather than STEMbile, which a lot of people will like spell that. SITHEMBILE. STEMbile. The I and the H are silent, so it's pronounced STEMBILE. I had to go through all that to explain to people. And I realized that by me doing that in that sense. Today, if you see me at any of my conferences, because I do conferences around the world, and I'll be starting to go around the country right here in the United States next year. If you see me in there, please ask me to spell my name and pronounce my full name. I'm okay with it today, because I know who I am. And it's not about people disrespecting me. They really truly want to understand how to pronounce my name and what that name means when they ask. So I do embrace that today. Well, at 57, I better embrace it, because then you know what? I can't be into my feelings and judging people on when they're asking a question. I'm happy to pronounce it when you meet me. I'm happy to let you know that STEMbile means hope. Happy to tell you that the work that I do is to bring hope, helping other people excel, to excel in your life in every which way that you can. That's my passion. That's my goal. The other reason why I know I went on a tangent with that one, because then one of the things that I know for sure that I work with is to help people, to learn more about self-love, right? To learn more about their birthright, their birthright breakthroughs, the things that they're born to do, they're born to have. And that's why I spend all that time on that awesomeness, because then self-doubt is really big among many, many people. The other one is playing the victim. It's easy for you to, stand back and play as if, I don't have what it takes. I don't think I'm blessed enough. I don't think I can be like you. And we stay in that victim mode, right? It's a big, thing that I know I can't even address playing the victim, right, in this short, live that we are doing today. But what it is if we are going to take advantage of, women's equality and the opportunities that are there, we do need to work on the victim mentality. Everybody's story is different. Your story is different. Mine is different. But once you get an opportunity to work through your story and change the things that are no longer working, the beliefs that are no longer working in your story, to understand the things that have happened in your life and that have made or molded you into who you are. That is the time that you can stop playing the victim. So do not just say, well, you know what, I need to stop playing the victim. It's not that easy of just dropping it and say, you know what, because you've got to understand how you have played, victim, if you are or if you have played the victim. Staying in your comfort zone is usually a safe space for people to get into, right? I'll just stay here because I don't want to ruffle anything, and I don't want to lose. I don't want to fail. We've got to understand that in order to succeed and to move forward, we have to embrace, failure. We also have to embrace taking risks. So here's the question for you. What risks have you taken in your life? What risks have you taken and realized after you take it to say, that was the best thing that I ever did in my life? But before that, it was like, I don't know if I can even start this. What is it that you have done and taken, care of? Let me know. You can put it in the chat right below. If you have taken any risks, what risks that you have taken. Because guess what? We've got to be able to speak up and to be open and to not stay in the background. So as we are talking, please, whatever is resonating with you, write it in the chat, in the chat. Because as you put across any of your thoughts, the efforts that you have taken, you are also taking a stride forward into the future and saying, I can't stand in the back. I'm not staying in this comfort zone. So I don't care how old you are. It's never too late. You are never too young. You are never too old. Whatever age you are, what is it that you need to take a risk on? And that depends again on what is it that you want to do in your life. So here's my take for us, taking advantage of this women's equality moment that we've been crying for, and that windows and doors have opened. Dream bigger. You know how we've dreamt and we've had dreams and we said, you know what, if we could have the chance to, I wish they opened up opportunities for us like they do for the men, then I would be so and so, and I would do such and such, and I would help out, this population, or, this is what I would love to do. That's what my heart desires was, but I never got the chance to. As long as you can watch this video and you can listen to this, you have not lost your chance. There's still a chance for you to dream even bigger. So I'm challenging you today to dream even bigger. When I say that, take a moment and write, what is your dream? And once you write that dream and I say expand it and make it bigger, what comes to mind? What is your dream? And once you figure out and you write out what your dream was or what you thought you really wanted to do in your life, I want you to declare to yourself that I will get out of my way. And getting out of your way means getting rid of any and every excuse that might come around. I know, you're probably saying, excuse? What do you mean, excuse? Well, here's the thing. When you make up your mind to say, these are the things that I want to do, and I am going to take the first step of even figuring out what I need to do first, that's a made-up mind. And nobody can mess with a made-up mind. No one can stop a made-up mind. Here's the thing. It might take you a month, a year, 10 years, 20 years. The thing about it is not you getting to that, reaching that dream. It's you enjoying every moment of that dream unfolding, learning something, meeting new people. I'm meeting all of you today because of this dream that I've had, that I wanted to inspire, motivate, encourage each and every person that I have. And I hope that this, moment is a moment of encouragement for you. But to me, this is a dream come true, to be able to come to you and be able to motivate and inspire you. So when I say dream bigger, You might be saying, okay, you're talking about, equality is now open for us. Yes, because more women are doing more things that we're not, even, we couldn't even imagine ourselves doing some of the things that we're doing today as women. And the power that we have within ourselves, is now coming out more because we are being more courageous. We're being more confident. We are taking more risks. And each and every one of us has something to give. So even if somebody else is doing the very same thing that you think, you know what, I would have wanted to do this. Let's say, open up and do hair. You do hair. And then you look around your neighborhood, you're like, ooh, they got like 20, hair salons in my neighborhood. So I don't think, that's something that I can do and make money from. Yes, you can. Because out of those 20 that are in there, none of them are run by you. Their hands are different than yours. The way you style people is different than yours. The reception that you give in your own, hair salon is different than anyone else. So do not scare yourself out of your dream. You need to open it up right next door to the next salon, or go between the two salons. Yours will be different. The people that you're supposed to serve will be different. And that was just an example. But, I'm saying that for all of you that even, I gave an example. If you want to be a speaker, the way that, we are speakers, go for it. There's room for all of us, and nobody can speak like you. And that's the one thing that, you need to remember. So, dreaming bigger, where do you start? Start by making sure that you nurture yourself, self-care. Make self-care number one priority. Take care of yourself mentally, physically, spiritually. Many people, I think the pandemic is what reminded us to say, whoa, we've got to nurture the things that we think about, the things that we tell ourselves, the people that we allow in our lives, the people that, will help us or hurt us. We need to be cognizant of that and take care of ourselves so that we can renew ourselves. We can replenish ourselves. Protect your energy. Because then there's some vampires, I call them vampires, that can they just want to suck your energy. And then you don't become yourself or become the best version of yourself, because you've got all these people that are around you that are just sucking the energy out of you. Well, they're not. You're allowing them to. That's why I say take care of yourself, because then you do need to make sure that you have the right, people around you that will encourage you to be the best version of yourself. Trust me, take all of this with a grain of salt. It's things that I have put together, but you can't do it all in one, moment where you change everything. Part of taking care of yourself also is remembering that you can only take one step at a time in order to make the changes that you need to make. Build yourself a positive community. Do not compare yourself in a way that is, demeaning you or dimming your light. Do not compare yourself in a way that demeans you or dims your light. Comparison is really a good thing when you can see somebody that is doing something that you like, and you aspire to do the same, but you want to know how to do it and how to take the next step. It's another thing when you compare yourself and you feel inferior, like, oh, I can never be like that, and oh, those people are better than me, or that person is better than me, because nobody is better than anybody. We are all running a different race in life, and we're all going to run it very differently. The thing about it is we are all winners. From the day that you're born, you're running a race of your own in your own life, to make an impact not only on your life, but to make an impact to the world, so that you can enjoy sharing the gift that you have, sharing who you are. So run that race and be your own competition. Make sure that the way that I've worked is I want to be better than I was yesterday, in everything that I do. in the impact that I make. I'm always working, through, am I better? Am I a better version? Do I need to learn something else? Do I need another coach that can coach me? And then I'm coaching other people, but I'm also getting coached because I also want to continue to get better. And there are better people than myself, better speakers, better coaches than myself. And I'm always willing and ready and open to learning from them. Have a positive impact about your life, positive outlook about your life, and that takes, again, courage and confidence to be able to work through looking at your own life in a positive way, so that, again, equality will mean something to you. And these opportunities that are there, that you're knocking on all of them doors as well and getting what's yours. It's the moment for us women to rise up and become even better versions of ourselves. But we are going to do it one staircase at a time and one individual at a time. We work together because as we become powerful, but at the same time, each one of us will still need to have our own individual courage that will help us to embrace with the rest of the women and do even better, together. All right? Learn to say yes to yourself. We are so used to saying yes to other people. We are so used to saying yes to outside world, but then we forget to say yes to ourselves. And guess what? When you say no to somebody, you are actually saying yes to you. When you say no to someone, you are actually saying yes to you. And when you say yes to you, right, you don't need to explain anything. Hey, would you do this for me? Actually, sorry, I can't. And they're waiting, and you wait. Why not? I just have, other things that I need to do at that time. I'm sorry. I really can't. Otherwise, you don't have to explain anything. If it's a no, it's a no. So I want you to practice that. To just say no. Because it's a complete sentence. Know your values. Know your boundaries. And that's a question that is loaded when I ask people, what are your values? What are your boundaries? That people will know that, you know what, that's something that STEM cannot take. That's something that, she will allow or not allow. That they just know. And you're doing it with, in all due respect, it's not something that you're being considered. Because then when we talk about self-love, it's not easy because a lot of women especially, we are carers, we are caregivers. So sometimes when we talk about self-love, it's almost like now I'm being selfish. I would rather you become selfish in a way that you love yourself and unselfishly give yourself unconditional love. I've asked some ladies and I said, do you know what you would want from someone to help you to continue to care for yourself? What is it that you would want from someone to help you, improve your self-care or to continue to, feel loved? How do you love yourself? How do you know if you're being loved and cared for? Many women look at me and go, what do you mean? I don't even know. If we don't know that, then people will not give us what it is that we don't know and what it is that we're not giving ourselves. So as we look into the future, it's important, again, to learn how to love ourselves, to learn how to fill that void that needs love, appreciation from other people, because that will help us a lot in, not focusing more on people pleasing and doing more than, what we're supposed to be doing. So I know you can see I had written some notes in here, so I wanted to make sure that, I don't miss on anything. So here's the thing. Allow yourself to build the confidence and the courage to be you. I want to, I encourage you so much to figure out a way to write down, who am I? Answer that question, who am I? Okay? So as I end, I ask you, who are you? Because when you figure out who you are, it will be easy to walk through, to maneuver through the opportunities that are continuing to open up for us as women. Focus on the doors that are open. Focus on the opportunities that are open. Do not get stuck on closed doors or those ceilings that are still, shut tight. For women, do not focus on those. I'm not saying do not advocate for doors to open and not advocate for us to continue to have equality. Yes, let's do that. But at the same time, let's take advantage and show that we are a force to be reckoned as women. My name is DrStem, and I hope this has been helpful. To learn more about me, you can visit me at my website, www.drstemmie.com, and that's DrStemmie.com. And if you go to my Facebook website or even Facebook page or Instagram, you also will be able to see the links to my website. With that, I say happy equality, Women's Equality Day 2022 to all of you. This is DrStem. Be encouraged.